Good day. This video is on using our three important drawing tools in AutoCAD. The polar tracking, the object snap tracking, and the object snap. Now these three tools assist us in drawing. Now when you want to draw, you need to put on your object snaps. Now by default, endpoint, center, intersection, and extension mid object snaps are on. If you wish to add any others like midpoint, for example, you simply click on the object snaps that you want object snap tracking to be able to track. Now, one usefulness of object snaps and tracking and polar tracking. Let's say I want to draw a line from the center of this rectangle. I can't watch the rectangle for myself and see where the center is. But because we have on polar tracking, object snap tracking, and object snap, that is simple, right? So you're going to go to the line command, and what you need to do for tracking to enable you to start from the center, you have to go to the midpoint from this line here. You don't click, just access it. You see it's coming up there. And the midpoint from here, right? Those broken lines that are appearing there, those are that is the polar tracking. And now you can actually come to the center of the two lines. Now if I go back to the midpoint, you see it's going to take off the object snap. So you go on it to access it, you go on it to remove it. So now we have the two object snaps enabled. Now we have the exact center of this rectangle. So I can just click here and draw to another midpoint here on the end of this rectangle, and you press enter. So we have this line starting from the middle. So if I want to draw some more lines, I can go from the corner, the end point here, click, connect to the end point of the line to the center, and I can continue that way and connect to the end point at the end of this rectangle. Now let's say I want to draw a circle in the center of this rectangle. Same thing. I can go, once you want to use your object snaps and tracking and so on, you must select the tool first. So I click on circle, I claim this midpoint here, this midpoint here. When I come to there, you see you have the center again. So I can click there and draw my circle to the center of this rectangle. The next thing, what is good about object snap and all these tracking tools, if I want to draw another rectangle, an exact distance away from the first one, right? I click on rectangle and I go to the edge or the end point as to where I want to draw where I want to track off of. So you see when I click there, you see a little green arrow comes up, a little green cross that comes up there. So AutoCAD has acquired the end point. So I want to draw this, and you see the broken line, polar tracking again. I want to draw this new rectangle an exact distance away from the first one, right? 1793.4957 distance away. It is the exact distance I wanted. I would click there and I would draw my rectangle. So that is the next thing about using the tools. You can have your drawings in exact center points, end points, midpoints, and so on. So you have to make sure, of course, polar tracking is on, object snap tracking, and object snap is on as well. And those are the three tools that are very useful for when we are drawing. The next video, we are going to actually start looking at drawing.